King Ramses I's tomb, number 16. Without a doubt, the tombs of Horemheb and Ramses I exhibit clear signs of a transitional period. The book Amduat, which is present in the 18th dynasty tombs that we researched, sets them apart. Passages from this book are also inscribed on the walls of the burial chambers of the tombs of the young King Tut and his successor, I. This book vanishes out of nowhere, and the Book of Gates, another sacred text, appears. This book originally appeared in Horemheb's tomb and then again in this tomb, which led some archaeologists to surmise that Horemheb had entered a new era and so established a new dynasty. It's the 19th dynasty, and as we shall see, the book Amduat has made a comeback in the tombs of the kings of that dynasty. The tomb starts with a descending staircase that descends to a corridor and then another descending staircase. There are two incomplete rooms, one on either side of the stairway. Next, we come to the burial chamber, the sole chamber containing certain chapters from the Book of Gates and religious scenes inscribed on the walls. The final third of it displays the red granite sarcophagus, inscribed with images of the gods and some yellow-colored texts. 3 rooms set the room apart, the left, the right, and the third, which faced you as you entered and assumed the shape of a niche. The room's top was decorated with the hieroglyphic sign Keker, while the walls were covered in gray with vivid texts and scenes engraved on them. The goddess Mot is depicted approaching the entryway on both sides, followed by a scene showing the king in front of the god Te with the Djed pillar behind him. On the opposite side, however, we see the king presenting the god Nefertum with 2 cups of wine, with the Isis emblem Tit standing behind him. 2 scenes are depicted on the left side of the scene. The first one shows the king standing between the 2 gods, Horus, the son of Isis and Anubis. The second scene is from the 3rd chapter of the Book of Gates, and it shows the sun boat with the god Io of Re, meaning the sperm of Re, in a human form with the head of a ram with the sun's disk, crowned in the center and surrounded by the serpent Mehen, in the shape of a naos, where we can see a snake standing vertically before God. The boat is pulled by a group of 4 persons known as Duat, and it is positioned with the god Sia, the Lord of Wisdom, at its front and the god Hika, the Lord of Magic, at its rear. A scene that resembles the one described in the previous scene is shown on the right. It shows the sun boat and its crew, along with a group of 8 people standing in front of it with a tube slung over their shoulders. It is enormous, with a bull standing on each of its 2 bull-head-shaped ends. It is observed that the rope used to pull the sun boat enters the mouth of the bull next to the boat and leaves the mouth of the second bull at the tube's end, pulled by the same 4-person Duat group as before. According to some archaeologists, this sun vessel enters the tube to travel to the netherworld. When we finally get to the facing wall, we can see the king behind the sarcophagus, as well as the gods Adam and Neith behind him. The god Horus, son of Isis, then leads him to his father, the god Osiris, who is seated on his throne, with the priest Ionmutef standing in front of him, dressed in a dress made of leopard skin. The king is depicted kneeling in a niche in the same wall above a representation of the spirits of the city Pe in human form with a falcon's head and a representation of the spirits of the city Nekhen in human form with a jackal's head. Next, we see the king standing and presenting the deity Adamare Khepri, who is sitting on his throne in human form with the head of a scarab, keeper, offerings in the form of fat and a set of 4 boxes called merit. Finally, a drawing of the god Osiris appears inside the niche, with a god with a ram's head behind him and the goddess Nesret in the shape of a snake in front of him.